This is BofC Live, the video and podcast series of Business of Cannabis. Find out all that we do at businessofcannabis.com. Coming up on our BofC Live show, segment of the show, we'll have a conversation with Paul Pedersen, the CEO of Nextleaf Solutions. Last year, Nextleaf launched their Glacial Gold branded products, which was the culmination of an effort to bring the award-winning legacy brand to British Columbia consumers. We're going to talk about that and their focus on IP during this BofC Live conversation with Paul Pedersen. Paul Pedersen, nice to see you.
Great to see you, Jay. Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, I'm glad we could. And before we get going, and I'm saying this not to shine you on or anything, but thumbs up, the Glacial Gold Fresh Mint Vape. That's, my kids are here, so I want to be cognizant of what I say, but I like that a lot.
Yeah, thank you very much. No,
how are people finding it once it's sort of out in the wild? Like what kind of feedback are you getting from that product?
You know, I think that's probably been the coolest thing since we launched our first branded product in September. And that was really the feedback that we're getting from not just the retailers and the consumers, but from the BC government. And, you know, it's been really validating. I think what we've heard loud and clear from BC is that they've never seen vapes at this price point not have issues with returns. And, you know, it really comes back to the focus that we've had around quality and, more importantly, you know, building a business from the ground up around technology for distilling CBD and THC. And it's been a lot of fun to release the brand. Obviously a Prohibition era brand that started in BC, and we felt by launching in BC, focusing on this market, it was really perfect timing with a brand that we thought really connected with the high purity distillate that Nextleaf's been known for. And I think what's been a lot of fun is it's not just a hollow brand that some graphic designers on Bay Street or Wall Street created, but it came with an incredible group of people that had built the brand, won a number of awards, Cannabis Cup, the Lift Awards, Karma Cup. And the people came with it, and they've, you know, the guys, Wilson Chan on our team, he's learned the SOPs. He's down leading one of our packaging crews, and you know, that's been a lot of fun. You know, in kind of sharing this journey from legacy to legal over the last 150 days.
It's amazing. I want to get to it because obviously you and I, we've known each other a long time, but also been talking on sort of on the Business of Cannabis platform, sort of about the core focus of Nextleaf from earliest days around IP, right? And getting the processes and protecting the internet intellectual property and what that means for the business as a foundation. And now not come full circle. I don't know if it's full circle, but actually see it advance to using that IP to create products that people love and brand them sort of in the real world. Like, talk about how that journey has felt, like, because it's never easy, it's never simple, but to start to see, you know, the IP bearing fruit on the brand side as well. Talk a little bit sort of that journey.
No, and you know, it's been a hell of a journey. 4 years ago, Charles Ackerman, Nextleaf CFO, and myself flew around the world. We raised 20 million on a dream, and that was to build the most efficient oil refinery in the world, and also cannabis oil refinery, the most efficient oil refineries in St. John, New Brunswick. But we felt that what Ryan Coe and some of the innovators, founders, and inventors of the technology have done in BC over years and decades in the legacy market was very unique and world class. So the last 4 years is really about designing, building, commissioning. About a year and a half ago, we commenced revenue supplying CBD and THC ingredients to some of the largest companies in the world. We have a couple of, you know, NASDAQ listed companies that collectively have raised over $1 billion. They could buy any piece of equipment. They could do it themselves. They could work with anybody. They work with Nextleaf because when it comes to price and quality, they're getting a great high quality CBD and THC distillate. And, you know, that's really the core of our business. And what we built over the last 4 years is we have a competitive advantage around the production of standardized cannabinoid ingredients. And for now, our goal 2022, it's all about building brands off innovative IP. And we are only focused on vapes and oils. Why? Because that's where we have a competitive advantage. We have no competitive advantage in flower or the other categories. But we believe that the IP really puts us in a world-leading position, not just in Canada, but globally. And it's been a lot of fun really proving that over the last quarter in the launch of Glacier Gold. I think, the part that, has been really interesting as we've built this business from nothing, created it, built the IP, and had to go out and raise the capital to build the oil refinery and put the team together, hearing, well, what's the value of this IP? And I think we've really demonstrated it really, really quickly. I mean, we've come into BC, we've launched our brand. We sold more vapes and oils last quarter in BC than Canopy, Aurora, Pedersen, Sundial. These are companies with billion-dollar market caps that have raised and deployed literally billions to develop products and market their products. And I think for us, we're only getting started. We got a founder-led group here. And we got an unbelievable team, and just very excited to take the brand coast to coast here in 2022.
Love it. I love it. I want to ask you, because certainly the IP is easier to move cross borders and cross boundaries than distillate or flower or anything, right? And I want to think about that and talk to you about it. We've had some conversations about this before, but the world is opening up as it pertains to cannabis, right? There's new markets coming online, certainly in the US. I mean, we were in New York in the fall. We'll be back in New York in March. Europe is now opening up in some very real ways. And I think looking much more like Canada than the US in their sort of strict regulatory approvals, strict guidelines. And I want to sort of ask you point blank, like the IP you have and have secured, like how does that play into these net new markets as they open up, and how does that fit into your game plan?
No, great question. And, really over the last probably 2-3 years, every time I talk to a banker and analyst, they want to know, what's your US strategy, right? Nobody cares about cannabis in Canada. Canada's not sexy anymore, right? It's all, what do you do in the US? And my answer has always been the same. What are we doing? We're building the largest patent portfolio for the extraction and purification of cannabinoids in the United States. We've got 17 issued US patents, third after Canopy and Jazz Pharmaceuticals, which acquired that patent portfolio, $7.2 billion only a year ago. For us, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. We are building what we believe to be the most efficient cannabis oil refinery in the largest federally regulated market here in the world. We're going to focus on Canada. We want to be, a top 3 vape and oil supplier, not just in BC, but across the country by the end of the year. And more importantly, what we're doing in a federally regulated market with CBD, we're formulating CBD products to a pharmaceutical-like precision that there's not one CBD company in the United States that can say that. And we think that the longer that Nancy Pelosi and the Republicans argue about regulating and legalizing not just THC, but CBD, tremendous opportunity for companies like us to create IP, not just in the United States, but globally, right? And on top of that, I think it's having all the licenses in place in Canada has allowed us to bring like some of the smartest people in the world to come here and work with our small team. We have a PhD chemist from a country where she would be put to death if she did what we do here every single day, and that's transport tons of weed from our cultivation partners, extract it, make high purity distillates, and we have been able to bring some incredible minds that have allowed us to really get in front of what is happening globally around regulation and, more importantly, legalization. We've got one of the biggest patent portfolios in Europe. We've got patents in Mexico. And, again, these are countries that we think are going to be emerging jurisdictions. So it's not just about the US. And, I'm excited about the US. I'm excited to go down to New York City with you for the Business of Cannabis event in March. And for us, though we're in no rush, right? We're in this for the long haul. I plan on being in this industry for the next 20, 25 years. And, it's all about when is the right time to enter the US, right? It's for us, it's not when there's 280E, and it's not when there's no regulations. We love regulations. And more importantly, we are showing what the IP matters and what it can really do to companies that have literally raised billions of dollars and have to compete with us in a regulated market. So, for us, we're super excited, bullish for the future. I love to see what's happening in Europe, and I think Canada's, there's been a lot of problems with legalization, but from a human rights perspective and from doing the right thing, it's awesome, and I hope more countries follow our lead.
I hope so too, and I think they will. I think it'll be slow and it'll be tricky, and I'm glad we as a country were first, and I'm glad you were there to help sort of lead the way and be a pioneer. But I also think the strategy around IP and underpinning that with actual products on shelves and brands and seeing how it comes to life to sort of prove the point and improve the thesis is really compelling. As you look ahead to 2022, the rest of the year, like what are the key milestones you're sort of interested in thinking about? You talked about sort of cross country with Glacial Gold, but is that the type of landscape you're looking at within this year? Like reaching more provinces, getting these products, not just to me in Ontario, which a friend sent me, but the Ontario Cannabis Store and throughout. Like talk a little bit about sort of the game plan for the coming year, if you can.
Yeah, no, and that's really it. It is keeping our heads down, keeping our overheads in the right place. And I like to say we've been right sized from day one, right? We've built a small production footprint that's large in IP and brain power, and with our automated plant and our ability to outsource to co-packing partners, we see a great opportunity to build the brand from coast to coast. But more importantly, what's our focus for 2022? It's doing something that Sebastian St. Louis, Terry Booth, Bruce Litton, and all these guys couldn't do, and that's build a profitable cannabis company here, right?
You're naming names.
Well, hey, listen, we're competitive, right? And it's it's nothing personal, it's business. We think it's a really exciting and interesting time right now where the biggest cannabis companies in the world are being led by guys living in upstate New York and hiding out from COVID. And they're all shutting down facilities in Canada, right? Canopy shut down 2 facilities in my hometown over the last 2 years, right? During the worst public health crisis. You're seeing companies get smaller, and we really see that as a tremendous opportunity to take their market share away and go to these provincial boards and say, guys, this isn't a company with international shareholders and CEOs sitting in upstate New York. This is a local company creating jobs and working with local farmers to put great products in market at very disruptive price points. And we see tremendous opportunity to grab up a lot of this market share from companies that are bad businesses. They were too big. They were run by guys that probably watched Narcos one too many times and built these businesses that just couldn't be sustained by the Canadian market, right? And we know that Canada is the first to legalize what is the most popular illicit drug in the world, but with distribution bottlenecks and all the issues that we talk about and that Business of Cannabis covers, I think it's all about being sustainable for us. We think we got the right model. Got a great CPG team led by a husband and wife duo, Chris and Emma Andrews, that built plant-based protein over at Vega before people knew what plant-based protein even was. And we've got a small team here that's really dedicated on putting some great products to market. I mean, I think what we're most proud of is that we currently are leading the pack when it comes to price point in Canada. 1 gram vape carts, we got the best value product in the country, and we got the best value in the CBD oil space with our CBD 100 and 200. We just launched it nationally for medical patients through Mendo Medical, and that's what 2022 is about. We want to give consumers, medical patients, a more compelling value than the $300 bottle of CBD oil from Tilray brands. We want to create more value through our IP and through our products, and couldn't be more excited for what's ahead.
It's a spicy Paul Pedersen here in January 2022. I like the fire. Paul, I really appreciate you taking time, sharing the story, sharing the expertise, sharing the game plan. We always like talking to you. We look forward to seeing you in person at some point. We'll see. But nice to see you, and thanks for stopping by.
Thank you very much, Jay. Really appreciate it.
You got it. That was BofC Live on Business of Cannabis. If you like this program, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It helps support the work we do. We're able to do what we do because of ongoing partnerships with Alterna Savings, Cannabis at Work, Cannabis Benchmarks, Can Delta, Gallagher, Headset, and Torque and Maine. Find out all that we do at businessofcannabis.com.